going on in the motherfucking world. I
You
want to
had to
hear.
lead with domestic violence, Slay.
No, because know why? Because that's
Nah, he's
something
right.
that's going
Nobody's
The
ever
on
women
talked
that
about it like
needs
experience.
to
that.
be
Like
talked about.
Eve touched on it. Eve touched
It-
on
it-
it, but nobody ever touched on it. There's a lot of topics. He's right. There's a lot of
yo,
topics that females are going through besides what would you say, Slay?
Sex.
Ass my mouth. What? It's a lot more.
Luck, don't Luck,
It's
don't
not.
encourage
Somebody
him.
should have wrote that down, but it's sampled it. But it's a lot more. He's right that people could relate to. He's right on
it's
the
the
money with it.
truth.
I listened to some of them. I was gonna say I got a few. Say I might have to ask you because I love right now. I love Tierra Whack. She just to me don't get enough credit. I fuck with her
Yeah, whack
very
is dope.
heavy. It's a girl coming out of Philly named Rocky who be on Head Tops. I love Rocky. She was on my page early. Tierra Whack was on my page early, and Lady London is another one who spit. Who don't, they don't get the look because they pussy not out, but whose fault is that? Because if we saying one thing and then when the album drop and the video drop, just like Rhapsody and all of that drop, and we be, standing up for the national anthem, real ass bitch, give a fuck about a nigga, big Birkin. But you understand what I mean? It plays
Yo,
to us. So sometimes it's hard to hear the Wax and the Chicas also in between that because it's what they're literally doing what Punch say. If it's selling, they leaning, they putting the money towards it and behind it and leaning towards it. They do that. They make it easy. So then how do we change
yo,
that?
Keisha, I'm not being disrespectful in no shape, form, or fashion, but that record you just said, real ass nigga don't give up. It's certain records I have not heard the whole record. The only part I heard
That's city
was
girl.
a
That's
clip
city girl Slay.
on, but it's no disrespect to them, but you got to understand their age between mine. You
Oh, that's
understand
true.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it's a big age
If I
difference.
heard a
Yeah.
clip on the internet playing or whatever, I heard it. But me going to listen, that's not my
Right.
thing.
Okay.
That's a
Okay. I
younger
respect it.
that's a younger audience thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's what the young audience like. But with me, I like a different sound. Like you know what I'm saying. Even though
Diverse.
me and Luck don't see eye to eye, but I fuck with a lady Luck. You know what I'm saying. I'll fuck with.
Yo,
You
Slay,
know,
I love you. Now, ladies
yeah,
and gentlemen,
I know,
let me
but
say this. I love you,
yo,
Slay. You know what I mean? I still got the article, me and you. Slay put everybody on in New York City. So when y'all was going back and forth about
Absolutely.
LA, I met Nipsey Hussle through KaySlay. Nipsey, you know what I mean? Slay put everybody on. So I just want to say, we don't see eye to eye because you're taller than me, Slay, but I love you.
it's all love. But I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it 100. Even though I fuck with a certain lane of music, not knocking what anybody else is doing, but I just think it has to be some diversity in order for this culture to be around where we can pass
hmm
it down to our
Slay,
next.
you on Twitter?
Huh? Yeah, I'm
Are you
on Twitter.
okay?
My Twitter ain't really heavy. I had around 500,000, and I got hacked like around 4 years
You think
ago.
that 500,000 is not a lot of people?
No, I got hacked, and then I lost
Oh,
passage, so I might have around 5,000. So I just post from Instagram to Twitter, but I'm not on there like that no more.
okay. No, I'm going
So,
to do on there with the artists, with the rappers that I was talking about, those women rappers.
Yeah, but
so back to what you said earlier, you know how like there's a metro booming and everyone's gravitating to probably his production. That was just an example. But do you think that also plays a role with hip hop today of like there's not a lot of original producers? Because back in the day we had Missy, we had Tim, we had Pharrell. I mean, they're still, they're still making music, but no one is going to them who is young. So do you think that plays a role with hip hop now that there's not a lot of producers making their own unique signature to the culture right now?
I don't think that it's not a lot of producers. I think that the producers want to go. It's the same thing. They want to go with the wave where they feel like they're quicker to get a bag, opposed to telling an artist, no, look, I gave this artist this beat. I gave Million Thee Stallion this beat, but I'm not making the same sounding beat for you. If you want something, I gotta make it like that. It's up to the artist, you know what I'm saying, to either they request something different or the producers to to stand tall and say, I'm not making you something the same way I made somebody else. But what's the chances of that happening right now?
Right.
In a
Very slim.
in a pandemic as well.
Right.
I think it's not it's not the producers, it's the actual beat makers. Like it's really a difference between the two.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like the beat makers just usually give the artist the beat. Producers is the one that help construct the whole record and help
right.
provide direction. So yeah, it might be a shortage in actual producers because I don't think a lot of younger guys coming up know how to actually produce, but they know how to make beats.
Mm,
Mm. Yeah, that's you know what, Punch. I can't
that's
agree.
important.
That's important too. But you know, like
Very
I said,
important.
even right now, as we in the game punch, like I said, everybody don't got a punch. Everybody don't have a top dog. So these is young
Right.
brothers just going in a $50 or $30 an hour studio with the producer from his block that fucking sleeps in the motherfucker overnight because he doesn't have anywhere to stay, and he's just doing whatever the fuck the artist is telling him to do, and they're taking that and they going straight to social media or the streaming sites with it. You know?
Oh, you
For
know what else,
sure.
Slay? Another thing is on YouTube now. Like when they do the challenges, you have a lot of producers who go and remake the beat that's out, and you could go on YouTube right now and find 1,000 beats that sound like a Drake beat or like a so and so beat. So you have a lot of those people, and these kids just snatch those beats off and do songs to them as well.
Yeah, it's different. It's different all the way around the board. But I think in some shape, form, and fashion, the only way anything will ever get back to normal is if the artists look to go in another direction and the real producers like Punch was saying would produce records and not try to make them sound the same.
I think that's where a lot of like you said, Slay, guidance comes in too. Like if the younger guys would look at the older guys for direction and you know what I mean, some form of fashion, they could actually help and steer them the right way. But at the same time, the older guys gotta embrace change too, and
That's a
still,
fact. Yep.
like we
I
can
got a
still
Because
question
give
though. I got a,
direction without. Oh, I'm sorry.
oh no, sorry. Go ahead, Punch.
No, I'm saying the older guys can still give direction without trying to make the younger guys do exactly what they did. Just guide them, you know what I mean, in their path.
My question was, if
I agree.
everybody's emulating each other, then why, when we see a success like a TDE, there's not more people? Not saying that we want people to steal y'all sound, but why aren't people more influenced to do more music like that?
Um, to me, I think we chose a bit more difficult path.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Everybody can't do that. Look, that's harder to do than for me to put down some words and on a paper that just sound good to a beat. What they do on that side is much more, I feel like, skilled. I don't think it's like easy. I don't also feel like everybody could do it.
Yeah,
Not saying
and
it's easy. Just
it's
putting
like
hands with it.
now I think the fan now look at the artist and say, I can do that. When before it was, man, I admire what these guys are doing. Just my opinion.
Yeah. And didn't
That's,
seem like
that's
it was
real
something
talk.
that
I
you could
totally
do.
agree.
Yep.
Totally agree.
Yep.
Totally agree.
That's how easy the internet has made the playing field. Like 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 shit. Like I'm telling you, like literally, and I'm pretty sure Punch you could probably identify. Like I got cats coming home 50 years old talking about I got bars, and I'm like, bro, like on some real shit. Once you pass that knowledge down to a younger person in your family, and they like, no, fuck that. All these
that
niggas
pride gets in
ain't
the middle
real.
of it.
Yeah, these niggas ain't real. They rapping about my life. You know, I did 20 years. I caught a bot, this and that. So that's how easy the internet made the playing field that now this motherfucker can go to the studio, harass the fuck out of me and everybody else, and even if I don't fuck with him with it and he gets mad at me, he still could get the shit online, on YouTube or something, whatever. Like, that's how easy the playing field is now. It's that simple.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely easier, but I think the cream always rises. I know that's cliche, but like it's a lyricist at the top of each category. And I think that's always going to be the case. no matter what style of hip hop you're doing.
Yeah, no, most definitely. But I'm just looking at the way that they right now they doing popularity over talent. Like we got to face it. Um, if a female goes on Wendy Williams show and she says something spectacular, or she curses out her father or something and gets 10 million streams from doing that, a record exec will say, "Damn, I wonder if we get her in the studio and we take one of
Right.
her infamous punchlines and make it the hook and get her to rap around it, we might be able to get even half of that amount of people to stream her. We can make her a rapper. This is what's going on right now. Like,
You
it's
thought that was a shot at
popularity.
Bad Baby, KaySlay. That was a shot at Bad Baby.
No, it wasn't a shot. It's just reality. Like, we seeing this shit happen. It's motherfucking popularity plays a major part
They got to
with
build
the
a rapper
talent.
formula, man.
Like with the talent, it's
That
like,
happened
yo,
with the girl though. Slay. Her name is Bad BHAD Baby. She was like, "Catch me outside." How about that? And that's what they did with her because she really got a whole career
you know
Yeah,
what?
from saying that on a
That's
TV
young.
show.
Oh, that's how old is she?
I think she's 18 now or
Oh shit,
17.
that's
Well,
I don't know who that is. Like yeah, but no, I'm just making a like an example. Like that's what like right now like they don't give a fuck. It's crazy, and I think that's why a lot of young brothers is getting compromised as well in the game. Like I remember going to a certain record label, and I had a cat. He was 16 years old, young brother. About 2 years ago, he was in college. He never got arrested. He wasn't into guns, and he was real lyrical. He was nice. He had some records and everything. And I'm telling the CEO and the radio rep, yo, this is what he does. He's never been in trouble. You know, he's not into guns. He's in school, such and such. And they listen to the songs and they like the songs. But at the end of the meeting, they said, yo, can you tell him and his uncle to step out? Because he was 16. He had to come with a rep. They stepped out. They said, yo, it's only one problem. I said, what's that? They said, well, so and so likes young guys who been arrested before, shoots guns or use drugs. So I'm looking at them
wow.
like the fuck? Like you understand what I'm saying? Like this is really the agenda that some of these labels is pushing. They don't want anybody who's level headed. They want the crazy young brothers who's controversial, you understand, and liabilities. And I feel like that's because they can capitalize off of it when they're fucking dead or in jail. And that shit ain't right. So that's my experience myself in seeing this situation happen and me speaking on it. You understand? So if
and
y'all see something else, enlighten me, please. Because right now it looks like they're looking for liabilities, instant gratification, and popularity over talent.
peace to the room. Now, I just wanted to say, like, and thanks for inviting me up here, P and everything. But like, to Slay, what you're saying, like it's cyclical. You know what I mean? Like like you're 100% right. Like it's you see it. Like this is not the first time, and it's not in solely music or hip hop, right? Like if we really look at this, it's worldwide. But if we're being kind of specific, there was a time where Maya Angelou, Nina Simone, Malcolm X, James Baldwin, Martin Luther King were alive in one room, hanging out, doing music, all doing art, and that shit was systematically and specifically seeded out and broken apart. Then again, if you even recent times, if you talk about DJ drama, if you talk about some of these cases, talk about the hip hop police, talk about what I mean, like what you're saying, it's not just you can hear it in the music, but if you really pay attention to what the police and just the policies, it's an all fronts attack on our people since day one in all facets, and hip hop is just you know one piece of that. That's just crazy. Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
we touched on that earlier, sis, and we was just saying we just trying to figure out step by step on how we can do things. I don't think it'll ever go back to what it was or be the same again, quote unquote. I think it's a new age coming, but I definitely believe with our people waking up and realizing systematic racism and realizing that people are running our culture and they're the ones that don't look like us and they're the ones that's looking for these artists that Slay was just talking about. I think that when people start awakening, we'll start looking for more music like the TDE and more music that is going to influence us to do the right thing opposed to tearing down our communities. I'm going to bed, y'all. I love all of y'all. Thank you guys for having me up here. I was fighting the whole time,
All
so
right.
Yeah.
I'm out.
All right, look.
Peace.
Peace,
I
peace,
think I
peace.
think also we really got to keep in mind that it's called the music business.
Right.
So it's about whatever is going to sell. Like they don't have a conscience as far as is something right or wrong. It's about what makes money at the end of the day. So I think in order to change it, like we got to really view how we treat our business of selling music.
You know, Punch, you 100% and 1,000,000% right. And a lot of times I get myself getting caught up in what it was and what it's supposed to be, opposed to these people are in uh, the nature of making money. And that's what it is. They don't go home or ever went home to the same environments we went into. They haven't experienced the same things that we experienced. It's just about, look, can you make me some money? I'm going to give you some money, which is advance and a budget. Can you recoup and continue to make me some money and you some money and we be in business? So feelings and emotions and all that shit don't play a part. So you 1,000,000% right, bro. And
For
sometimes
real.
I get caught up in how it should be and what it, but that's not the case, especially right now. That it's no more physical sale. It's physical, but you know what I mean. It's not like
Right.
before the streaming and this digital shit and all that. Man,
Mm.
it's different.
Yeah. The thing is with music, it's about innovation. You know what I mean, with the arts, it's about innovation. With business, it's about duplicating a result so you make the same money. I mean, for the most part, of course, is you know what I mean, there's certain innovations in business, but for the most part, you repeat something that works. And that's why we have this condition to me.
But at the end of the day, you see how things are going right now, right? What
Yeah.
is the chance of us having another 10 new superstars within the next 5 years? When I say superstars, I mean the Kendrick status, Nicki Minaj status. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, like, do you see that happening? And I'm not talking about brothers that's going to have a year or two run. I'm saying the next 5 years because a lot of brothers is getting cut down or getting incarcerated or just making that one big hit. They're not making like the longevity running this shit. Like this, just pay attention to what's going on, bro. You
Mm,
know,
They more focused on the singles than like, a body of work of music,
right.
so it's difficult to compete with that.
but is it them or is that the label hearing one hit and then forcing them to finish the other 9 or 10
Right.
records and then saying fuck that, we go on with this now? Like whose fault is that?
Both.
But this is a young cat coming off the street trying to move his family. He's coming from nothing and he's getting the opportunity to get a bag. Does he really got to
Hmm.
say so? Does he got is creative control in his contract? Does he got a manager that's in his best interest that ain't just about the money? Like it's just different avenues when it comes to this.
Right.
Yeah, I think I my experience was when we was first trying to break into this thing, it was like, okay, radio is playing this type of record. So the label wants somebody that's gonna make this type of record. So I'm the artist, so I have to make the type of record the label want. So the label can send it to radio so they can play me. That just creates the whole chain of what it is. But speaking to your superstar comment, I think it definitely will be. Maybe not how we used to seeing them, but I think Travis Scott kind of fit the mold. and what he's doing. Like he's part of the next generation to me of possible superstars.
Yeah, I like Trav. Trav dope.
I like him. He's been a little quiet lately. I think his next project is going to determine his fate.
Mm. I
For
like when
sure.
artists are quiet for a little bit. Like I miss when they, like taking some. I feel like even once a year. Like I feel like that's a good, like him being away. I think no more than 3 years, and then come back with like good content. But I think he put out an album too. Then his last album, isn't it 2 years, or did he put out something last year? I can't remember.
The last one he put out, I know it was controversy with him with the merch and the sales. They was
That was
trying to.
Astro World, right? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
When did Astro World drop, Frank? If you could just correct me if I'm. I think 2018.
August of 2018.
Yeah,
2018.
yeah, like 2018. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I,
like that. That had the banger with him, Drake by Tay Keith, the one that Drake said he talked him into not getting any credit or points for that song. And
nah,
perform live was crazy. That was a good year, 2018.
dude is definitely talented. It's just interesting to see how it play out now. That you got to remember, with the exception of maybe Atlanta, in Florida, is no shows. You understand? It's no concerts. Like the world is shut down right now, technically. On So it's really about the streaming